season replays, fantasy drafts, ultimate creative leagues, and what if tournament. It's Coffee Cup Games with the coach, DKM. Hey, this is Coach DK with Coffee Cup Games. Hope you guys are having a good one. At the beginning of 2023, Strat-O-Matic announced that they were going to re-release the card set for the 1976 season. And in honor of that, we decided here at Coffee Cup Games we would replay the 1976 playoffs. It will include the best of 5 American League and National League Championship Series, and then eventually the World Series. We have already replayed games 1 and 2 of the American League Championship Series. We are managing the New York Yankees to see if we can get them back to the World Series. And after 2 games, the series is knotted at 1 apiece. And now the series is getting ready to go to New York for games 3, 4, and possibly game 5. And in this one, we will be beginning the 1976 National League Championship Series. The first 2 games will be at Philadelphia, as the Phillies will be hosting games 1 and 2. The Cincinnati Reds will be hosting games 3, 4, and 5. We will be managing the Cincinnati Reds, and we are going to try to see if we can get them back to the World Series. So now let's check out the starting lineups for Cincinnati Reds and the Philadelphia Phillies of 1976. For the Cincinnati Reds, Pete Rose will be playing third base and leading off. Ken Griffey will be in right field, batting second. The second baseman, Joe Morgan, will be batting third. Tony Perez, the first baseman, will be batting fourth in the cleanup spot. George Foster, the left fielder, will be batting fifth. Johnny Bench will be batting sixth, and the catcher, Dave Concepcion, will be the shortstop and batting seventh. And Geronimo will be in center field, batting eighth. And on the mound will be Don Gullett. He will be batting ninth. He went 11-3. He had a 3.00 ERA. He started 21 games and had 1 save in 1976. For the 1976 Philadelphia Phillies, they will be led off by Cash, the second baseman. Gary Maddox, the center fielder, will be batting second. The future Hall of Famer Mike Schmidt will be playing third and batting third. Greg Luzinski, the left fielder, will be batting fourth. Dick Allen, the first baseman, will be batting fifth. Brown, the right fielder, will be batting sixth. Tim McCarver, the catcher, will be batting seventh. Larry Bowa, the shortstop, will be batting eighth. And on the mound will be Steve Lefty Carlton, who went 20-7 with a 3.13 ERA. He started 35 games that year, did not bring in any saves as he only started. Originally, Cincinnati won this one 6-3 as Steve Lefty Carlton struggled as he went 7 innings, allowed 8 hits, walked 5, allowed 5 runs, 4 of which were earned. But Don Gullett of the Cincinnati Reds pitched a beautiful game, only giving up 2 hits and allowing only 1 run in 8 innings. So now let's jump in and replay Game 1 of 1976 National League Championship Series. But before we jump into the game, I'm going to ask you guys, do me a quick favor, take a quick moment, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button right down below. Subscribe to the channel, please. I would love for you guys to show your support for all the content that we put out here. And lastly, go ahead and leave any questions, comments, or snide remarks you may have in the comment section down below. And with that being said, now, let's go ahead, let's jump into Game 1 from 1976 of the National League Championship Series between the Cincinnati Reds and the Philadelphia Phillies. Here we are at Vet Stadium in Philadelphia, Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. We got Steve Carlton on the mound, and coming up to lead off the Big Red Machine will be the third baseman, Pete Rose. He had 323 with 10 home runs. That sounds like a lot for Pete Rose. I don't remember him being much of a power hitter. But anyways, here is the first pitch, Carlton. And he is going to walk Pete Rose. And we are immediately going to try to get early runs here. He cannot get a good lead, so he's going to stay there. And now Ken Griffey, the right fielder, is up. He had 336 in 1976, and Carlton's going to strike out. So 1 down, and now Morgan. Joe Morgan, the second baseman's up. He had 320 with 27 home runs. So here we go. Here's the pitch, and Morgan is going to rip a single. We are going to send Pete Rose, and they are going to hold the throw, keep Morgan at first base. So we have runners on the corner, and now Tony Perez is up. He hit 260 with 19 home runs. He does well against left-handers. Steve Carlton struggled originally in game 1, and he seems to be struggling early on in this one. And Perez is going to hit a line out to Schmidt. That is going to be an out. And so now George Foster, the left fielder, is up. He hit 306 with 29 home runs. Carlton trying to get out of this one, and Foster's going to hit a ground ball to Allen. Whoopsies! Allen's going to make an error. So that means Rose scores. Pete Rose crosses the plate. Foster takes first. Morgan is on second. Wow, was not expecting that one. And now Johnny Bench is up. Here's the pitch. And Johnny Bench is going to draw a walk. So that means that Carlton has loaded the bases up with 2 outs. And now Dave Concepcion is up. He had 281 with 9 home runs. He is super amazing against left-handers. But unfortunately, Concepcion is going to hit a ground ball to second base to end the inning as we leave 3 runners stranded. Don Gullett on the mound now to go into the bottom of the first. Cash, the second baseman, is up. He at 284. He's going to lead off with a fly ball to Griffey in right field. Griffey's easily able to take that 1-1 down. And now Gary Maddox is up. He needs a 1-11. He's going to get a 15, so that's going to be an out. And now Mike Schmidt is up. He had 38 home runs in 1976, and he's going to be strikeout. So Gullett coming out with a 1-2-3 inning. And now we go to the top of the second. Geronimo is up. And he's going to lead off with a single to right field. So he is already going to put pressure on. He cannot get a good lead, but he still has a 55% chance to get a stolen base. We're going to send him.
He's out!
And unfortunately, he's going to be thrown out. So Gullett, now the pitcher's up. He's going to hit a fly ball to center field. Not expecting much from him. So that's going to be 2 down. And now Pete Rose is up. He's going to hit a ground ball to Schmidt. Surprising. That ball actually got through. Schmidt, one of the best defensive third basemen in the history of the game, does not quite get there as Pete Rose gets on base. We're going to try to steal again. And Pete Rose does get a good jump, and he is able to steal second base. So he's in scoring positions for Ken Griffey, who struck out in the first inning. This time, Griffey's going to walk. The third walk for Steve Carlton in this one. And now Joe Morgan, who singled in the first innings, up the bat, and he's going to draw a walk. Holy cow. And Tony Perez, again, we have the bases loaded with 2 outs. Can Tony Perez come through and hit at something? And he is not.
Denied.
As he's going to hit a ball to Brown into right field for the second straight inning. We leave the bases loaded. Hopefully that does not come back to bite us as we now go into the bottom of the second. Here is Greg Lazinski, the left fielder. He had 21 home runs, hit 304. He's going to hit a ground ball to Concepcion. That's going to be an out. Our middle of our infield is just completely amazing. I mean, our whole straight down the spine. You got Johnny Bench, who's got a range 1, Concepcion range 1, Morgan range 1, Geronimo range 1. Dick Allen is up. He hit 268 with 15 home runs. He's going to hit a fly ball to right field to Griffey. That's going to be the second out, and that's going to bring up Brown, the right fielder. He is going to get a single. So the first hit for the Phillies. And now McCarver, the catcher, is up. He only hit 277. Brown is stealing. We're going to throw.
You're out!
And Johnny Bench throws him out. So 2 thrown out base stealers in this game so far as we now go into the top of the third. George Foster, the left fielder, is up. He got on base with an error. And this time he's going to hit a ground ball to short. That's going to be 1 down. And now Johnny Bench is up. He's going to hit another ground ball to Larry Bowa at shortstop. And that's going to be 2 down. And now Concepcion is up. And he's going to hit a ground ball. So Larry Bowa gets 3 straight ground balls and is able to take them all and throw out the runners at first for a 1-2-3 inning. And now we go to the bottom of the third. McCarver, the catcher's up. And he's going to hit a ground ball to Pete Rose at third. That's going to be 1 down. And now Larry Bowa is up. And Larry Bowa bunts. But Pete Rose fields it and fires to first. And he is going to be out. And now Steve Carlton, the pitcher, is up, and he's going to hit a fly ball to Foster into left field down the line. But George Foster is able to make a brilliant play there. So that's going to be a 1-2-3 inning, as they have been put out in order, even though they do have one hit. At the end of 3, Cincinnati leads 1-0. They got 1 run on 3 hits with 0 walks. Philadelphia has 0 runs. They have 1 hit, and they have committed a crucial error. So now Geronimo is up, the center fielder, our number 8 hitter. He's going to lead off with a walk. The last time we tried to steal and he got thrown out, we're going to try to do it again. We're not going to get a lead. We're not going to steal. But what we are going to do this time is we're going to play Gullet with a bunt, and he fouls off the second strike. So he has a 1 ball and 2 strikes, and we're still going to stay with the bunt. And he squares and he bunts it foul.
Dummy.
So twice Geronimo gets on base, and we are not able to do anything with him immediately. But Pete Rose is up. He's been on base with a single and a walk. He's going to pop up behind home plate to McCarver, the catcher, and that'll be the second out. Now Griffey's up. He needs a 1-2. He is going to get a 4, which is going to be good enough for a single. We are going to send Geronimo to third, so that's going to put runners on the corner. Griffey's got good speed. We're going to try to steal second.
He's out.
And we had a 1-18 chance. And we roll a 19.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious.
The third batter thrown out in this one. Unbelievable, as we have had multiple innings with runners on third base with 2 outs, and we have completely dropped the ball.
That is why you fail.
But we go into the bottom of the 4th with Cash up, the leadoff man, and he's going to lead off with a ground ball that gets between Rose and Concepcion into left field for a single. And now Maddox is up, and he's going to hit one up the middle for a single. So runners on first and second, the first time that the Phillies look like a threat, and they are bringing up their team MVP, in my opinion, Mike Schmidt, who had 38 home runs, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Concepcion. Could this be a double play? It will be, as Concepcion gets a 6-4-3 double play. Cash takes third. It is great to have great defense down the middle, and now Luzinski's up. He hit 304 with 21 home runs, and he is going to crush one into dead center field off of Gullet. So that is going to be a 2-run home run as Philadelphia takes the lead in the 4th, and now Dick Allen is up, and he's going to be strikeout. So top of the 5th, Phillies are leading this one now 2-1. Morgan is up, and he is going to be struck out by Steve Carlton, his 3rd strikeout, and now Perez is up. He's going to hit a ground ball to Dick Allen at first, and that's going to be 2 down. Now Foster's up. He's going to hit a ground ball to Dave Cash. That's going to be the 3rd out. So unfortunately, we go into the bottom of the 5th, still trailing 2-1, and O'Brien is up, and he's going to lead off this inning with a single. So 2 innings in a row that Phillies lead off with a single. Now McCarver's up, and it's going to be a
just a bit outside
wild pitch. So Brown takes second. McCarver, the catcher's up. He had 277. He's going to hit a ground ball to Morgan. This should be an out, as Morgan is able to get there with his incredible range, his amazing glove. And that's going to be an out. But unfortunately, Brown is on third base, and Larry Bow is up. And Larry Bow is going to bunt.
You're out.
And the runner on third is out as we charge it. Gullet takes it on the AstroTurf. It bounces a little bit high. We are able to get the runner coming home. So that's going to be an out. 2 down, but Boa is on first base with Steve Carlton, the pitcher, up. And he's going to draw a walk. Dude, come on, man. You can't be walking the pitcher. Cash, the leadoff man's up, and he's going to hit a ground ball to Rose. He's going to throw it to second for the fielder's choice. That will be the 3rd out. We got out of that one unscathed, but we now go into the top of the 6th, still trailing by 1 run, 2-1. Johnny Bench is up. Johnny Bench is 0 for 1. He has a walk. He hits a ground ball to Cash. And Cash makes an unbelievable highlight film play for an out. And now Concepcion is up, and he's going to hit a fly ball to Maddox in center field. Maddox has got great range, and he is able to make a running catch to get that one before it hits the ground. So 2 down by 2 great defensive plays, and now Geronimo's up, and Carlton strikeout. So he gets out of that in a 1-2-3 inning. We now go into the bottom of the 6th. Gary Maddox is up. He's 1 for 2. He's going to hit a ground ball to Concepcion. That's going to be 1 down. And now Mike Schmidt is up. He's going to lift one in the left field to Foster for a routine fly ball. 2 down. And now Luzinski, who had that home run back in the 4th to give them a 2-run shot and a 1-run lead, is going to hit a ground ball to Pete Rose at 3rd for the 3rd out. So we now go into the 7th inning in a very close game. Cincinnati has 1 run on 4 hits, 0 errors committed. They left the bases loaded multiple times, runners in scoring positions that were left on base, and Philadelphia has 2 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. They are being led by Lazinski's home run in the 4th inning. So we go into the last 3 innings of the game. Gullett, our pitcher, is up. We will let him hit, but he's going to be struck out by Steve Carlton, his 5th strikeout. Now Pete Rose, our leadoff man's up. He's going to hit a ground ball to Cash. Cash makes another great defensive play for the 2nd out. And now Griffey's up, who's going to pull the ball to Brown in right field for a 1-2-3 inning as we now go into the bottom of the 7th. Dick Allen is up, the first baseman, with 15 home runs and 76. He's going to lead off with a walk. So for 3 straight innings, they get a runner on base to lead off the inning. And now Brown, who is 2 for 2, is going to get on base for the 3rd time with a walk. And now McCarver, the catcher's up, and he's going to draw a walk.
You're killing me, Smalls!
Gullett struggling in this one. He has just gotten over his pitch count. But we are going to have to look at bringing in a relief pitcher now. And we decided to bring in Norman to go against Larry Boa. Boa really struggles against left-handed pitchers, so this might be only one better that Norman goes against. But Boa is going to hit into a 6-2-3 double play as we bring in the infield. And Concepcion charges it, throws it home to bench, quickly throws it to Perez. So we get a huge defensive play. And now Steve Carlton is up, and Norman is going to strike out Carlton. So we get out of that with the bases loaded with no outs. We survive. Man, could not expect that. And now Morgan is up. He's 1 for 2. He's also gotten on base with a walk. We need to start answering in the top of the 8th, but unfortunately, we're going to hit a fly ball to Gary Maddox in center. As our 3, 4, and 5 is what we're banking on, and Morgan starts off with an out, and now Tony Perez is up. He had 260 with 19 home runs. He's going to go opposite field to Brown for a routine fly ball, and now Foster's up with 29 home runs at 306. He's only been on base with an error, but he's 0 for 3. We need him to do something, and Carlton is going to strike him out. So a 1-2-3 inning. We are going to bring in a relief pitcher for Norman. And we are going to bring in our closer, Raleigh Eastwood, into the mound. He does really good against right-handed hitters. They got a bunch of them coming up, so let's see what we can do. Cash is up to lead off, and he's going to line out the 2nd to Morgan for 1 down. And now Maddox is up. He's going to hit a fly ball to right field. Griffey doesn't have the best range, does have a pretty good glove, and he's going to make a great catch. So 2 down, and now Mike Schmidt is up, and he needs a 1-5. He's going to get a 13, so it's going to be a line out to the 2nd baseman. And now Philadelphia makes a defensive change as they bring in Hutton to play first base, and we are in the top of the 9th, trailing by 1. Johnny Bench up. The future Hall of Famer, our catcher, is going to start off with a ground ball to Schmidt for an easy out. And now Concepcion is up. He hit 281. We need him to do something. But Carlton with a strikeout. And so it comes down to Geronimo. Can he keep the inning alive? Or will this be the 3rd out in game 1? Carlton pitching, Geronimo. And Carlton strikeout. 2 strikeouts to end the game. And so Philadelphia behind Steve Carlton, it's 8 strikeouts, and Lazinski's 2-run home run in the 4th win this one 2-1. Unfortunately, that would be a loss as we just dropped game 1 of the NCLS 2-1. And this was a story of lost opportunities early, some running miscues, a clutch hitting, and a pitcher who settled down and came through for his team. In the first part of the game, we had the bases loaded multiple times, could not take advantage of it. We had a couple runners thrown out, stealing second base. And for the Phillies, Greg Lazinski came in with a big home run, a 2-run shot in the fourth, as that was all they needed to win this one, because then Steve Carlton buckled down, settled down, and he ended up pitching a gem, a 9-inning complete game as he struck out 8 and it only allowed 4 hits. So that, unfortunately, is not the way we wanted to start off the series, but we are hoping to split the series 1 game apiece and then go to Cincinnati, where we'll have games 3, 4, and hopefully 5. But this series is not over, as we're hoping to win game 2, split the series on the road, and then go to Cincinnati and advance to the World Series. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, this is Coach DK. Have a good one. Bye.